Okay, now let me create the table. Let me create an empty table first. You can take down from here also as well. Table should be closed separately like this. Table, this table should have how many rows? One row. Table row closes here. This table should have two columns, td 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 td. td. Here I should have male radio button. Here I should have male radio button. Here I should have female radio button. That is how I have to build the web page now, right? How to create the radio button? Input type equal to radio. Input type equal to radio button. See, this is inside the table, but I am unable to see the table, right? Why? Because I didn't give border for the table. If you give border equal to 1, you can see the border of the table. Now you are able to see table with one row and two column. In the first row, first column you have one radio button. First row, second column, it is empty. Okay, this is how normally by default the border value will be 0. The border value will be 0. That's why it will not be able to, you will not be able, at the background it will be there, but you will be unable to see that. If you give border, you will be able to see that, right? Next, input type equal to radio. You need a label for that, right? Male. Then give that radio button male. I have got it. In the same way, create a female radio button also. Female radio. Input type equal to radio female. It is better to give IDs always, I said, right? ID equal to male or something. Here in the same way, ID equal to female. Give unique IDs always. Now refresh this. You are getting male and female radio button in a table. What developers do is, when they are creating, they will keep the border for the table. As soon as they complete the entire design, right, they will search for this border equal to 1 and remove all the borders. So that when you are able to see that background of that, there will be a table. If you want to see that, I can show you some examples also. Let me go to this web page called demo.activetime.com. It is a small web page. When you see the source code of this web page, you can see how it is designed inside the tables. Yes, it's loading. Right click on this element, inspect, so that you will get the source code of this element. See, this is an input tag tdtr tbody. Slowly, if you go up, it is in the table. This element is in the table. If you go up little bit, that table is inside another table. This table is inside another table. Like that, they have divided the entire page in big table. Inside that there is a table, inside that there is a table. That is how normally in real time the web pages are built. That is why I have created tables and put the elements inside the table, so that you will understand more better. They won't use any BR tags and all. Have you understood up to here? Any doubts with this? Okay, next. What is the next element what we are going to build? Google link. That should be with one table with one row and one column. First design an empty table. Later on I can put the element inside the table. Okay. Let me design an empty table. How to create a table? Table should be created. Is the table, is it correct whatever I have created? Table with one row and one column inside that, so that I am going to create a link here. I am going to create a Google link. To create a link, I will be using a tag called a tag. A tag is used to create the link. Anchor. Anchor, the full form, what does the anchor in the ship does? It links to some other thing, which means that it links to water and it stops the ship. Right? In the same way, here you are creating a link and you are connecting to some other web page. Okay, anchor. Href is equal to, where if you click on that link, where you have to navigate? You have to navigate to http://www.google.com. You want to navigate to that, and a tag closes separately like this. A tag is not a self-closing tag. This input tag is a self-closing tag. A tag is not a self-closing tag. Whatever the text you give here, that it will be displayed here. Okay. Now if you click on this, it will navigate to Google page. It will navigate to Google page. Done. But you don't want the text as some random text here. You want the text also as Google. Give the text here in the web page. Instead of this text, I am going to give it as Google. Done. Now refresh this. You will get a link called Google. If you click on this, it will navigate to Google page. Understood? Next. What is the next element? Image, and image with link should be in one table with how many rows? 2 rows and one column in each row. Alright, let me design that. Okay, let me design that. This is the table what I am going to create. Table with how many rows? 2 rows and one column in each row. Is it correct whatever I have created here? Table with 2 rows. In first row I have one column, in second row I have another column. Here I am going to create a normal image. Here I am going to create a image with link. Got it? Next. To create an image, I need to have an image, right? Download an image and keep an image ready with you. Okay, I am going to download an image, home.jpg or some image. Go to images. Why this is very slow? Okay, let me download this image. Download this image. Save images. Let me download to the same folder wherever I have my .html batch one, and under here I am going to save this as home.jpg. I have saved the file under this home.jpg. I have this home.jpg, right? Now I need to display this image, home.jpg image, inside here in my web page. img is the tag to display the image. src equal to, what is the file name? home.jpg. home.jpg. I have image is a self-closing tag. If you want id, you can give id, or else just leave it also. Okay, now it has displayed the image here. See, I have given img src equal to home.jpg. Since my this .html file and image is in the same folder, both are in the same folder, that's why directly I have given the file name here. If this home.jpg is inside my C drive under images folder, under images, if I have this home.jpg, then what I have to give here? Then I have given the complete path, c:/images/home.jpg. Since both are in the same folder, I am just giving that file name. It is preferred to keep in the same folder always. Okay, next. That is all about image. Are you understanding this image, how to display the image? Next one, what is the next one? Image with link. Okay, now I am just going to create a link again. Again I have created a link, so that it has created a link here. I don't want the text as Google. I don't want the text as Google. Instead of this Google text, I need image there. Instead of this Google text, I don't want this text as Google. I need an image. In HTML language, this is the image, right? Copy this and paste it instead of this, so that an image will be displayed. And if I click on that image, now an image will be displayed. Now this is a normal image. This is actually a link only, but link with not a text, with an image. But if I click on this, it will go to Google page. It is going to Google page. If you don't want to go to Google page, if you want to go to Flipkart page, then change this to Flipkart. Change this to Flipkart. It will go to Flipkart page. Refresh this. If I click on this, it is navigating to Flipkart page. Okay. If you don't want to have the home.jpg, if you want mobile.jpg, download mobile.jpg and give mobile.jpg as a name here, so that it will display the mobile image there. And if you click on that, it will navigate to Flipkart page. Are you clear until here? How to different element has different tag names and attribute names. You don't want to remember anything here. Now what you want to come to know here is, you want to come to know what is the parent tag. This A tag is the child tag of this TD tag. This TD tag is the child tag of this TR tag. This TR tag is the child tag of this table tag. This table tag is the child tag of this body tag. This body tag is the child tag of this HTML tag. HTML tag is the parent. This parent-child relationship, you need to understand this. That's the only thing what you have to understand. You don't want to by heart any code here, because already developers have written the code and given to you. Okay. This is only 4 more elements are left. What are those? Single select drop down, multi select drop down, text area, and browse button. Let me create single select drop down and multi select drop down now. This should be in one table with 1 row and 2 columns, right? Let me design the empty table. Is the table is correct what I am developing? Table with 1 row and 2 columns. Yes or no? Yes. Here I need single select drop down. I need single select drop down. Select is the tag to create the select drop down. Select tag is not a self closing tag. Select. That's it. It will create a select drop down. Sorry. Oh. It will create a select drop down. It has created a select drop down here. Are you able to see that? Select drop down. Now what I need, give some ID. Normally I will be giving ID for any element, right? CT. That's it. You have created a select drop down. But for that select drop down, you need some options, right? Like Bangalore, Chennai, Delhi, Kolkata, like that. Give that in the option tag. Option value equal to 1. I am going to give Bangalore as first option. Option Bangalore. I've got an option called Bangalore, right? Like that, if you want different options, what you can do, copy this 1, 2 Chennai, 3 is Mumbai, 4 is Pune. Now if you refresh this, you have got all the 4 options. This is how to create a single select drop down. Next I am going to create a multi select drop down. What I am going to do, let me copy paste this. Let me change this ID value to cities. Now I have created single select drop down only. I didn't create multi select drop down. Now I need to convert this to a multi select drop down. If you want to make that to a multi select drop down, then you need to pass one more attribute called multiple equal to true. It will create a, it will make that to a multi select drop down. It will make that to a multi select drop down. Have you got it? I have created, by pressing control you can select multiple cities here. That is all about multi select drop down. 2 more elements are left. What are those? Text area and file choosing button. Both should be in one table with 1 row and 2 columns. 1 row and two columns. Here you have, is the table is correct whatever I have created? Table with one row and two columns. Here I need a text area. Text area to ID equal to description or something. Area. Got it? Now refresh this, you will get a text area. You have got a text area, right? That's it. This is all about how to create text area. What is the next element? File choosing button. Input type equal to file is a file choosing button. If you want ID equal to browse or something, you can give file choosing button. Now refresh this, you have got a file choosing button. Okay, this is how to create a file choosing. Hardly we have taken 45 minutes to develop this web page. That's it, right? One web page hardly but to make colors and all those things, it might take more time. Just to design the basics of HTML, we hardly took only 45 minutes to 1 hour max. Okay, so that if you know the basics of HTML, identifying the elements become very easy. To do any automation, we are going to identify the elements and perform action on that element. To identify the elements, we should know the basics of HTML. That is why it is not our job at all. Developers is going to develop the web page and give to us from next class, which means that from Monday's class onwards, we are going to identify the elements by using different element locators. We are going to identify the elements. Okay, but to step into that, we have to learn the basics of HTML. But normally in real time, those who are working also in Selenium, they will not be aware with this 1 hour of stuff. That's why they will be feeling lot of difficulty to identify the elements. Okay. Just a minute, I will come back. Now what I am going to do here is, there is a huge code here, right? It is too difficult to remember the entire code, right? I am going to give a simple shortcuts how to remember everything. Okay, so that you can remember everything. For any big topic, whatever you are going to learn in future, I will give you some shortcuts. If you learn those shortcuts, it will be very easy for you. Let me tell. I will give you ample time to take down. You will get sufficient time to take down the notes, don't worry. Element. Next, tag name. Mandatory attribute. Value. Additional attribute value. What is the first element? Text box. What is the tag name to create the text box? Input is the tag name. What is the mandatory attribute? Type equal to text. You have to give type equal to text. That is the attribute. And additional attribute, either you can give ID or name. That is user defined value. You can give anything. User defined value. What is the next element? Password box. What is the tag name? Input is the, what is the mandatory attribute? Type equal to password. Here you can give either ID or name, that is user defined. Are you understanding why I am giving shortcuts like this for each and every? Now you don't want to write the entire code also. If you have this, that's more than sufficient. You can start building, because you know the base, you have already taken the basics of HTML, basic structure of HTML. Inside body, if you write all these tags, then of course you can build your web page. Okay, what is the next element? Button. What is the tag to create button? Input. Type equal to button or submit also I can give. Anything I can give to create a button. Here I will be giving value, that is button name, as an additional attribute. Next one, checkbox. Input is the tag to create the checkbox. Type equal to checkbox. Here you will be giving either ID or name, that is user defined. Got it? Next, radio button. Radio button. What is the tag to create the radio button? Input type equal to radio ID. One more thing I forgot to tell you here. I'm coming to recap this. I forgot to tell you this. Now after this, can this happen? Can I select both male and female radio button? I have to select only one, right? If I do like this, no one will use this application. It's a bug actually. So that what I can give here is give a common name. Name equal to gender. Give a common name. Name equal to gender. So that I refresh this. Now you can go and select only one out of that. You cannot select both. If you have 5 cities, out of 5 cities, if you want to select only one radio button, then give a common name to that 5 cities, so that out of those 5 cities only one will get selected. That is how, that is called grouping the elements. Out of that group only one will get selected. Okay. Now here in that case I have to give both ID and name. One for uniqueness and one for grouping. Name should be used for grouping. Only name can be used for grouping. IDs cannot be used for grouping. Okay. User defined. Next element. What is that? Link. That is link. What is the tag name to create the link? A. href. What is the mandatory attribute? href. You will be passing URL. Then if you want ID or name, you can give, or else just leave it also. ID or is additional attribute. Next one, image. What is the tag to create image? img is the tag to create image. What is the mandatory attribute? src equal to file name. Here you will be giving either ID or name, that is user defined. Next one is image with link. That is nothing but combination of these two is image with link. Next one, single select drop down. What is the tag to create single select drop down? Select. No mandatory attribute. Either you can give ID or name, that is user defined. That is all about single select drop down. Next one, multi select drop down. Then for that also select drop down. Here what you will be giving the mandatory attribute? Multiple equal to true, so that it becomes a multi select drop down. Here you can give both either ID or name, that is user defined. Next element, text area. Text area. What is the tag to create text area? Text area is the tag to create the text area. No mandatory attribute. Either you can give ID or name, that is user defined. What is the next one? File choosing button. File choosing upload button or file choosing button. What is the tag to create that? Input type equal to button. File. Input type equal to file, so that it will create file choosing button. ID or name, that is user defined. That's it. Done. All the whatever I have written for last 1 hour of code, I have made it into one tabular column now. If you have this, it is very easy for you, right? Now it's just like a shortcuts what I am giving. Okay, first take down this, later on you can take down the code as well. You have another 20 minutes to take down. You can take down this. Did Ramaji give table like this? No. Who's this? Paramshiv. Taking the screenshots. Take down into your notes. Don't take down the screenshots. If you take down, you will understand a lot of things here. That is why I am telling you to take down. I am going for next class is on Monday. No class tomorrow and day after tomorrow. I am taking a leave. As I said, 4 leaves for your batch. One is Thursday, Friday, and February 6th that comes on Wednesday, and February 18th. These are the only leaves what I will take. Apart from that, there is no leaves. Take down this, and you can take down just two minutes, and you can take down this as well. And once you are done with this, take down this, and you can take down this as well. And finally take down this and this. That's it.